one of the things that's, when life gets hard, it's natural. I mean, it's a human tendency to want to run from that. And one of the things we have to come to recognize is, there's some crazy things that the Apostle Paul said. One of them is, he said, we rejoice in our suffering, for we know that suffering produces endurance, endurance produces character, and character produces hope. And hope doesn't put us to shame because God's love has been poured into our hearts. And when you see that, you go, well, that's ridiculous, Paul. Wait, rejoice in your suffering? But when you start to see that the sovereign hand of God is at work, that's how you can go, I don't know, one of the things I say in the book is it's not wise to ask why in the middle of suffering. The best thing to ask is, how am I going to respond to this?
Yeah.
Because if we really do believe this is a test, if this is something God's preparing us for, A.W. Tozer, he says, it's doubtful whether God can use a person greatly before he's first wounded them deeply. And I wish it wasn't the case. I don't know why God's chosen to use suffering. There's a verse in Acts that says that the apostles went around encouraging the brothers, saying, through much suffering we enter the kingdom. I'm like, well, that doesn't sound like encouragement to me. I'd rather him say, through much Krispy Kreme we enter the kingdom of God, right? He said, through much suffering we enter. And when you can keep in mind that it's through that suffering, for whatever reason God's using to purify, to strengthen us, to prepare us for the future, we can have hope, that hope that comes back alive in the middle of it. You go, I don't know why I have hope in the middle of this, but I know somewhere God's at work in the middle of this. And that's what we've got to hold on to.